road trippers. Welcome to another episode of the Road Tripping Podcast. I'm your host, Dean Ward. If this is your first episode, then welcome. If it's not your first episode, then welcome back. We want to apologize for having no show last week. The computer that runs the studio had a brain freeze and destroyed our user profile. Of course, all thanks to the latest updates from Microsoft. Thanks for nothing there, Bill. So, we wanted to provide an extra bonus this week and at the same time help out a young person who thinks they may want to become a podcaster to cut their teeth. So please, have a listen and give her your support.
Hi, my name is Mackenzie, and I really hope you enjoyed the presentation on the Russian folktale of Baba Yaga, also known by some as the witch with the chicken-legged house. Now, let's get into the show. The tale of Baba Yaga dates back to the mid-1700s. Some sources say most probably around 1755, and is about a wild woman with dark magical powers that is located in the forests of the northern Russia or possibly Finland. There she is said to live with a few of her sisters or maybe just a few other witches, who all are called Baba Yaga, in a magic hut that stands on chicken legs and has a life of its own, allowing it to move about the forest. Its window acts as the eyes, and the lock is full of teeth. A post fence surrounds the hut made of human bones and topped with skulls, whose blaring eyes socket light up the forest. Very often, the hut is supposed to be guarded by hungry dogs, evil geese, swans, or even the traditional black cat. The word Baba is Old Russian, may mean midwife, sorceress, or fortune teller. But in the modern Russian, it can mean any woman old enough to marry, but usually is used primarily to mean grandmother or old woman. Yaga could have other meaning according to scholars, but most agree witch or snake is the most likely. There are hundreds if not thousands of stories about her, but she is often described as a frightening old witch with very dark blue eyes, wild white hair flying everywhere, reddish dry skin, and a terrible appetite for eating people, especially little kids who don't listen or disobey their parents. She is often known for riding around in a flying iron kettle and for accompanying Death on his travels, where she would eat the souls of the recently departed people. Baba Yaga is both a cruel woman and a helpful person. It depends on the way you approach her. If you are rude, she will kill you and eat you. If you are nice, she will likely give her help to assist you for whatever reason you come to her. So now that I have described her to you, I wanted to tell you the story for which she is most well known. Baba Yaga and the Vasilisa the Beautiful, which some say is the Russian version of Cinderella. By his first wife, a merchant had a single daughter who was known as Vasilisa the Beautiful. When the girl was 8 years old, her mother died. On her deathbed, she gave Vasilisa a tiny wooden doll with instructions to give it a little to eat and a little to drink if she were in need, and then it would help her. As soon as her mother died, Vasilisa gave it a little to drink and a little to eat, and it comforted her. After a time, her father remarried. The new wife was a woman with 2 daughters. Vasilisa's stepmother was very cruel to her, but with the help of the doll, she was able to perform all the tasks imposed of her. When young men came wooing, the stepmother rejected them, all because it was not proper for the younger to marry before the older, and none of the suitors wished to marry Vasilisa's stepsisters. One day, the merchant had to embark on a journey. His wife sold the house and moved them all into a gloomy hut by the forest. One day, she gave each of the girls a task to put out all of the fires except a single candle. Her older daughter then put out the candle, whereupon they sent Vasilisa to fetch light from Baba Yaga's hut. The doll advised her to go, and she went. While she was walking, a mysterious man rode by her in the hours before dawn, dressed in all white, riding a white horse whose equipment was all white. Then a similar rider in red. She came to a house that stood on chicken legs and was walked by a fence made of human bones. A black rider, like the white and red rider, rode past her. The night fell, whereupon the eye socket of the skulls began to glow. Vasilisa was too frightened to run away, and so Baba Yaga found her when she arrived in her mortar. Baba Yaga said that Vasilisa must perform tasks to earn the fire or be killed. Then was to clean the house and yard, wash Baba Yaga's laundry, and cook her a meal. She was also required to separate grains of rotten corn from sound corn and separate poppy seeds from the grains of the soil. Baba Yaga left, and Vasilisa despaired as she worked herself into exhaustion. When all hope of completing the task seemed to be lost, the doll whispered that she would complete the task for Vasilisa and the girl should sleep. At dawn, the white rider passed. At or before noon, the red. As the black rider rode past, Baba Yaga returned and could complain of nothing. She despaired 3 pairs of dismembered-bodied hands, seizing the corn to squeeze the oil from it, then asked Vasilisa if she had any questions. Vasilisa asked the question, the rider's identities, and was told that the white one was the day, the red one was the sun, and the black one was the night. But when Vasilisa thought of asking about the dismembered-bodied hands, the doll quivered in her pocket. Vasilisa realized she should not ask and told Baba Yaga she had no further. In return, Baba Yaga inquired as to the cause of Vasilisa's success. Of hearing the answer, by my mother's blessing, Baba Yaga, who wanted nobody with any kind of blessing in her possession, throwing Vasilisa out of her house and sent her home with a skull lantern full of burning coals to provide light for her step-family. Upon her return, Vasilisa found that since sending her out on her task, her step-family had been unable to light any candles or fires in their home. Even lamps and candles that might be brought in from outside were useless for the purpose, as all were snuffed out the second they were carried out of their household. The coals brought in the skull lantern burned Vasilisa's stepmother and stepsisters to ashes, and Vasilisa burned the skull according to its instructions so no person would ever be harmed by it. Later, Vasilisa became an assistant to a maker of cloth in the Russia's capital city, where she became so skilled at her work that the Tsar himself noticed her skill. He later married Vasilisa. I hope you have enjoyed the tale of Baba Yaga, and I hope to bring you more shows in the future.
Thanks, Mackenzie. We appreciate your hard work and wish you the best of luck. Well, that's all the time we have for in this bonus episode of the Road Tripping Podcast. But if you liked it and want to hear more, please subscribe to the show feed and give us a 5-star rating on your favorite podcast directory. The more positive reviews we receive, the more trippers will be able to find us, and the faster we will grow, thus able to bring you new content. Be sure to visit our website, theroadtrippingpodcast.com, that's tripping with a G, to keep updated on future shows, leave show suggestions, and to see all the ways to find and interact with us all in one place. If you're able and feeling generous, then a link to our Patreon page can be found under the support link on the homepage. We've been your hosts, Dean Ward and Mackenzie, and the Road Tripping Podcast is recorded and produced at Before Midnight Studio. As always, until next we meet, stay safe, trippers.